Hello everyone, this new tutorial presented by the SHRDB, we are going to see application of conditional statements. Now, this application, you are going to write a code which is going to give you a small surprise when you are going to write the first letter of the name of your tutor. Now, so we start. In order to do this, you know that we are going to use the if statement. Now, our first state, in order for us to have an if statement, we will first have a certain character. We know that here we are asked to enter the first letter of the name of the tutor. We know that this letter will be S. The SHRDB, the first letter will be S. So you're involved with a character which is S. With any character, you can say any character. You can just put character and put letter as such. When we have the character, then we enter now in our loop proper, because this is our loop proper here. Our loop proper is that we say this is letter here. Enter in the loop proper. So in our loop proper, we can have now printf. In the printf, we have this. We now say enter. We first put the tab. We tell the user to enter the first letter of your tutor. So enter the first letter of your tutor. Now from this you are going to wait the person to enter the letter. In order for you to wait the person to enter, you are going to use the scanf. The scanf now is going to, you are going to place the value is going to enter into the character. So we are going to place %C here because you are placing into a data type which is character. We are going to place it into a variable letter, and so I'm going to place it into the address of letter. So that's address of letter. I come back to semicolon. So by this I'm going to wait that the person enters the letter. Now I'm going to use the conditional statement. Here is the application. I'll say if I come back again, I'll put the letter he entered is equals to S, big S. Then you compare by saying that you are going to enter into your surprise. Else you come back again. You say else. Now else you are going to say printf. You ask the computer to print on the screen that this is not the true letter. I put this on an alert by putting some exclamation signs. So exclamation sign as such gives an alert. Then I put a tab. And I come here, I print F again. No, I will not print F, I will go to I'll tell you soon how to use the loop go to loop. Go to loop. I'll come back up here. So I'll start here. Loop. I'll put to that and that. So now this is what our code is saying. I'll first start by character, have letter, loop, that. And then what happens is that I enter my proper statement, my proper part of my portion into this the tab n. When I enter a printf, enter the first letter of the name of your tutor. Now we enter, I'm going to take the letter you entered and compare that letter to S. If the letter is not S, then I will not enter into the code or the surprise that I want to give you. Else, if it's equals to S, if it is equals to S, then I will enter the code. If it's not equals to S, then I will go out of the code and tell you this alert. This is not the true letter. When I will tell you this, I will go back to this loop and ask you the same question until you put the true letter. You can still try with the 26 letter A, B, C, D, but again, another thing is that this letter is a capital letter and you must make sure that it's a capital S. So how is this go to loop is functioning? Go to is a loop which is having a name here. So go to has a name loop beside, and this go to is going to start back to a point which has name attached to it, this name attached to it. So go to will go back and look for the name which has this and look for this name of the loop which was here. So this name is actually this name here, loop. So what happens is that it's going to go back up here and do this. So let's do a bit and we say enter the first letter of your tutor. Let's try A. Let's try A. Now when you do it A, you see the alert sign. The alert sign, this is not the letter, this is not the true letter, that's the alert sign. Enter the first letter of your tutor. So what happened is that I'm first going to arrange this and put it again on another line. Go to back. So let's build and run. If I enter A, I have this. This is not the letter. Enter the letter of your tutor. It waits again that you enter another letter of the tutor. So when you have this code, you have if letter is S, then the enter the first letter of my name, then I will draw this beautiful tree for you. Then what happened is that now this tree has been drawn, but it will not be seen as such if you draw the code, if you compile the code. So what will happen is that I will first go on the next line here and tap. I put it at the center, then I go on the next line and I tap here, then I go on the next line, then I tap, then here I go still on the next line, then I tap, here I continue the same procedure. So when all the code has been written, then you can compile. When it's compiled, you build it. They ask enter the name of the tutor. When I enter first the letter A, you see that this is false. So it asks me again the question, enter the name of your tutor. I'll then enter name S, then I have this beautiful diagram shown to me. So this is what I have for you, a beautiful tree. So this is what my code does when I draw it very well. So this will mark the end of the applicability of the tutorial on applicability of our if condition. Thanks for your kind attention.